and welcome back after a week off, a hiatus, if you will. We had taken a vacation from the Lock Around the Clock for week 15. Not that we were taking a vacation from the Lock Around the Clock. I just happened to have a vacation planned and didn't really, we took off for the whole thing. But the other good news is we have a 27-16-3 record on the season, kicking ass, taking names, and we are looking to continue that on this week, going into week 16. Starting with the 1 o'clock lock, we're looking to go 3-0. It's the 1 o'clock lock. We got Detroit going into Cincinnati. Marvin Lewis is this is his last season. Obviously, last two games coming up. Their last game at home. However, the Bengals look like they've checked out. The defense is pretty much decimated at this point with injuries. They haven't really been getting much going on offense. Joe Mixon might be back into the mix, no pun intended there. But Gio Bernard has been filling in admirably, except for last week. Anyway, A.J. Green, up and down year for him, and Andy Dalton, you know, he's kind of week to week. He's had some great weeks, and he's had some Andy Dalton type weeks. But either way, these two teams are going in different directions. Detroit is looking towards the playoffs. Need to get this win. They are going into Cincinnati, like I said. They are favored. They're on the road, a road favorite of 4 points in this game. I really like Detroit. Darius Slay should be on A.J. Green most of the game. I'm not sure how much of a factor he'll be against a talent like A.J. Green. But, again, these two teams are going in two different directions. I look for Detroit to show up. I look for Cincinnati, who's already checked out, to not show up. And I look for Detroit to win this game by double digits. They're laying 4 in this game. Look for the Detroit Lions to take this game. That's the 1 o'clock lock. Cover the 4 points. Detroit Lions will. At the 4 o'clock lock, yep, we're going with Eli. We're going with the Giants at Arizona. The Giants are getting 3.5 in this game against an Arizona team that really doesn't have much of a quarterback, doesn't have much of a running back. They got Larry Fitzgerald, and that's about it. The defense is playing okay, good enough, I guess, to get by. However, they're playing a team not like the Tennessee Titans. They're playing the Giants. The Giants can turn it on. Eli Manning has been playing well since he's been back from his game off there. We're looking for the Giants to kind of right the ship here and get things going against an Arizona team that really just is not looking very good at this time of the season. Either way, these games between the Giants and Arizona, even back in the day when they were in the same division, were very close games. Arizona is not blowing anybody out, and the Giants are still not that bad of a team. They do have somewhat of a running game with Gallman going. They should have a passing game. Obviously, they have the better quarterback between these two. And at this point, the defenses are relatively even, maybe a little bit of an edge towards the Giants. I realize they're on the road, but they're getting 3.5. I look for the Giants to cover this game, plus the 3.5 in Arizona. Take the Giants plus the 3.5. That's the 4 o'clock lock. On to the 8 o'clock lock. We are moving over to Monday because there's no 8 o'clock game on Sunday. And we are going, yes, with the Oakland Raiders. Plus 9 at Philly. Now, last week was very depressing. They got decimated in Kansas City the week before when they really needed to win. Last week they had a shot at saving the season and a chance for a possible wild card berth, which they still have now, but there's way too many things out of their control that have to happen. And unfortunately, our season was decided by that moron Gene Steratore and his index card or folded piece of paper or whatever technology he pulled out of his pocket to use to measure. Mine's all been a wad of gum to measure the distance that everybody, including Helen Keller, could see was that far from the post, the edge of the ball. The technology has to improve here, people. And even the announcers, Chris Collinsworth, had said it during the game. There was bad calls throughout that game. My Raiders, as usual, got screwed. If we were the Patriots, it would have been a first down, New England, no doubt, going the other way. Steratore was laughing as he came up with that piece of paper and gave the first down to the Cowboys, which ultimately kind of ended the game for us. Anyway, I'm sorry I had to go on a rant because I am a homer. But the Oakland Raiders are flying east. They're playing on Christmas Day evening against the Philadelphia Eagles here. Philadelphia at this point might have wrapped up everything depending on how the other games go. Either way, they're giving 9 points. The Oakland Raiders, let's put it this way, since Ken Norton Jr. has been gone, the defense has looked 110% better. I believe the offense we'll have enough to get going against Philadelphia, who on defense isn't as great as they look record-wise. They have been letting up points, and I think Derek Carr gets it right this week. He's pretty upset about what happened last week, even though it completely was not all his fault on that last play where the ball was fumbled out of the back of the end zone, which actually was fumbled over the cone out the side of the end zone. I don't know if that matters, but it wasn't exactly, I don't think, the calls the way they were going that week, last week, it didn't even matter. Anyway, the Oakland Raiders come into Philly this game. Look for them to get something going on offense. The defense, I think, is going to be enough to take care of Nick Foles. And again, Philly at this point might not be in a position where they have to win this game. Not that that really matters. You always try to win, especially at home, and especially when you're the Eagles. But look for the Oakland Raiders to cover this game. The +9, look for it to be a closer game than people might think, especially 9 points. It's a lot. Take the Oakland Raiders. Take the 9 points. And that's your lock around the clock for Week 16 when we go 3-0 going into the final meaningless week of Week 17, which may be meaningless for most teams. We're looking to go 3-0 this week. We're looking to go 3-0 next week. But until then, take it to the book, take it to the bank, and as always, you take it ace and have a Merry Christmas.